glad to be back here, and I'm glad to be back here on a Monday, starting the week off. Got up early. I just had to wake up. I just got out of my pool, took a quick swim to wake myself up, but yeah, was starting my day, Julius. Getting my navigation, my GPS for the day set, getting my head right,
That's
and
it.
getting ready to attack it. So yeah, let's hear from the other guys.
You got
Good
to mute all
morning.
the lines real quick, so you might have to unmute real quick. All right, there we go.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Big Kirk. How you doing,
Good
buddy?
morning.
Good. I'm coming to you from upstate New York. I was on the road in Massachusetts this week. A lot of excitement, a lot of money on the table. People are excited. People are promoting. It's going to be a big week. I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. Mr. Miltonberg, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Great AM, how you doing?
Oh, man, I love it. Great AM. I love it. So,
I love it. I love it. First of all, shout out to you as well as Big John and Kirk and all of our leaders on this call. I'm excited to be here. And it's just time. It's just go time. I got my list ready. One thing I understand, and I know you can respect this as well, Mr. Weems. In our previous company, I believe we had one of the same mentors, and he shared with me, Milton, if you ever want an explosion in your business, if you ever want to make sure you make a certain amount of income, I remember that number was $50,000 a month. Mr. Steve Thompson had told me that. And he said, you got to hit 50 people a day. And recently I started going back to that, and it's giving me phenomenal results. And I got my list ready. I already hit some of the people starting this morning. I already hit 25 of them. And I'm just excited. One thing I'm really realizing, which I always have realized, that it's just as far as putting that action forth, is that it's all in the numbers. It's all in the numbers. You got to remind yourself that sometimes it's just all in the numbers. And I'm excited. And if you can hit 100 people, 50 to 100 people a day before people even wake up, it's going to be hard for people to compete with you. So that's just where my mind is. I'm just excited, man. I already got someone signed up about 4 in in Pennsylvania, wow. New leader. So to me, it's all about the numbers. And I'm just excited and ready to rock and roll.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So this morning, I wanted to kind of give us a topic this morning, fellas. And I hadn't talked to Kurt and Big John about it, but it's so funny you stepped in with the numbers. Let's talk about the numbers. I had a situation, and I want to share it. Is that I have an advisor. I'm gonna keep no names for the sake of the guilty, but I had an advisor call me and say, Julius, I've been doing all this work and I haven't seen any money. And I said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, you're doing some great stuff. And I said, we got started, but there's fundamentally, our business is so simple. And I love this, guy. I love how simple our business is, because the power in the two things we do. Some jobs, if you go to a job, you got to do 10 different things. Running my company, I got to do a lot of stuff. I got to get up, I got to get the employees ready, I got to do time sheets. But in this business, we got to do two things. We get customers and we help people get customers. That's it. There's no magic. There is no big thing. And so the thing is that I was having a conversation, because my whole vision is to help 10,000 people have $5,000 a month from this company. And I asked some questions, and I said, let me ask you this, is that, have you spent time to just learn how to look at your business, right? Because we did all the stuff, and we were having a conversation, and I said, here's what I want you to know, is that I will give you all the tools in the world to be successful. I will show you how to get a customer, put a customer in, and help somebody else get a customer and think will do its job. And I think in our compensation model, we talk about that. We say we can't promise what numbers you will achieve, because $576,000 a month we can achieve on residual. There's another in your 535, you can actually earn up to $1,700 without any bonuses in this company on Community Solar. And I said, well, let's go back to that. Did we do those things? And they were like, well, I don't know. And the message I want to give this morning, I want to talk to Big John and Kirk, is that we can give everything. We can help you get started. We can help you get your certification done, get those things done. But at the end of the day, my mentor told me this. He says, Julius, I love you. I think you're a great guy. But I want you to understand, I am not responsible for your success. And that hit me hard. This was a friend. This is one of my first mentors in business. And he was there. He called me every day. And that hit me really hard. And I felt a certain way about it. But what he was trying to say to me was, Julius, I can give you the business. I can show you the business. I can make sure you know how to log in your back office. Julius, I can make sure your certifications are. At the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for your why. You got to know without a doubt what you want from this business. And I had this conversation last night with this gentleman, and I'm going to be meeting him today to build his business. But I said, at the end of the day, we all got to be responsible for our why. Because guess what? My son, when he got to eat, he's not calling Big John and say, Big John, you going to feed me? Big John can help me all you want. But at the end of the day, you have to know in your heart why you're building this business. And right now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There are some people out there that would love to find Think Energy. There's some people that would love to be in our position. There are people that would love to be as early in a company. And when you think about it, at the end of the day, the question we got to ask today on June 17th is, am I owning my own business? Am I owning it? Because no matter if you got a Milton Bird as your leader, if Big John is your leader, if Kirk Horan is your leader, if Julius Williams is your leader, the leaders are here to make sure you have what you need to be successful. And we help and support. But at the end of the day, you got to wake up and look in the mirror and say, today, I'm ready to make sure that my why becomes a reality. And so that's, I want to just start the morning with that. And Big John, we're going into the second half of the month. And people are here saying, hey, what do I need to do to be successful? How can I be like Big John? How can I be like Kirk? How can I be like Milton Berg? And John, can you just share with just helping people understand they got to own it? They got to own what they want. Their why really has to be a real thing. It can't be an idea.
Yeah, and real quick, Jewel, you're right on target. I'm glad we're speaking to this point this morning, because I was taking notes earlier after listening to Jim Rohn, filling my head. But before we get into that, Brendan and I had a call with Lynette Roberts on Saturday morning. This is a special couple, Lynette and Stanley, that Milton had brought into the business. I recognized them as being special. And when I called Lynette, she was a little down and out, a lot down and out. And it was because Stanley's dad had passed away. So I want to give our condolences as the Think family to the Roberts family. And may Stan's dad rest in peace and God be with them. So I wanted to just put that out there first. What I started writing down this morning is it's about mindset, Julius. I listening to Jim Rohn and having my own experience, motivation is not enough, right? Everybody on this Zoom this morning on a Monday morning is motivated to one extent to the other. Some people at different levels, but what gets you into action is something you said earlier, Julius. It's something I define my why every day, right? My why is my family, my beautiful wife, Lela, my kids, my grandchildren. I have another one on the way in August I'm excited about. But it's me going to work and really going to work and hitting this hard because of them, right? It's not because of me. It's because of them. So motivation alone won't work. You need the motivation. You got to have the motivation. But you need the mindset first. You need the focus first. You need the belief first. And you need to define your why. So I realize that, most people join a gym on January 1st, right? Millions of people have illusions of grandeur. They join that gym. How many people you think out of those millions are there at that same gym they joined 30 days later? See, when you make a decision about this business, you got to have the mindset. You know, I remember early on in this business, I said, man, 10,000 customers, that's a lot of customers to get to. And what I realized is anything is achievable. You got to keep chopping. You got to keep flipping the cards. You got to keep believing. You got to want it more every day you wake up and simply realize you deserve it. Now, you're going to get knocked down. We all get knocked down. You're going to be told no. We all get told no. But it's your persistency and your belief. And I'm watching it happen, folks, right before my eyes now. Because we're not building a business, we're building a leaders. In order to build leaders, you have to become a leader. You got to have that belief that you deserve this. Folks, I can tell you what, you put your foot on the gas pedal, you keep flipping the cards, you keep believing, you keep plugging in. Get everybody on the Zoom tonight at 7 p.m. Everybody, men and women, on the women's Zoom with Michael Falquest's wife, Kelly. It's going to be an unbelievable Zoom. And if we don't plug in and you don't plug in, it's just a fantasy. It'll never happen for you. But if you do plug in and you do believe, it could be yours. It could be your dream come true. It just takes work. It just takes effort. And it just takes a real strong commitment. Back to you, Jewel.
No, thanks, Big John. So Kirk, man, you're on the road. You know, you're on the road up in New York, but you know, like anything else, you know, and I tell people, you know, Kirk was my sponsor, right? And no matter how much belief a leader has in you and everything else, at the end of the day, you got to put your foot to the pedal and go build what you want, right? And it's got to be. People say, well, you know, sometimes I say it's right. It's got to be radical, right? But you know, I'm sorry, but I look at Kirk, right, and John and Milton. I remember when we didn't have community solar, and Kirk and John were on the road for 30 days. They were chasing something that wasn't even there yet. Like it wasn't even there yet, and so you know, when we all look at the success, it's always easy to look at the success at the end. But Kirk, talk a little bit about, you know, I mean, this morning I just want to talk about what it really takes, because I feel like that, you know, sometimes, you know, we all like the prize, because in a year, here's the thing, is that everybody will come to the next convention, right, and see all the big leaders on the stage, and they're gonna say, oh, it worked for them. But I want to talk about now when, you were getting surgery, Kirk. Y'all were on the road for a month, and John, I remember the first trip, his car broke down on his way up. Your car broke down on the way up north, and you both went together, but those are radical choices for radical results. And that's what we want in our life. Like, you know, Milton comes in and it's just, you have to think different, because the mindset of somebody who wants something bad enough is just different. And so, Kirk, talk a little bit about that, because I think that on this call, we got to start talking about breaking the pattern of comfort. Because that's what happens. You can't live in comfort and get a result that's phenomenal.
No, it's got to be a daily dose of uncomfortable, honestly. You know, we all do spend our days doing activities, and a lot of the activities people are burning up their energy on are not income producing activities. They're attending Zooms, they're plugging into everything, but they're not actually doing the work, whether it's fear or they don't believe in themselves. I'm not really sure, but you know, I will use Milton as my example. Milton came on board with me early on, but he was straight up with me. He wasn't ready to build this business. He had other things going on. And, you know, out of nowhere, he said, I'm ready to go. and he's quickly rising through the ranks. So here's a man who came in early, took a spot, didn't do anything, but when he's ready, he's going through the ranks like a madman because he knows where he needs to be. He has his own goals, and he's just one example. You know, sometimes the timing's not right when somebody makes a decision. They take the spot, or they say sign
Check
me
this
up,
out.
and then
I'm going to show you how
they
I
do
afforded this
nothing.
car.
Anyways, you know, it really is about taking action, getting uncomfortable, making phone calls. I love what Milton said about 50 calls a day. I mean, you know, I never really kept track of how many calls a day I do, but you know, I'm sure it's beyond that. I'm sure of it, because that's what it takes. I mean, every day I'm connecting with new people, and the fortune is in the follow-up, right? That's what we know. And that's what you reach out, you plant the seed, you put your hand back to see to go. And that's what we're doing. It is uncomfortable, and each one of us is going to go, you know, it's not a race. It is a journey, but
Yeah,
lost
Kirk,
my
you're
chain of
breaking
thought,
up.
but I'll turn it over to Milton now. But you know, okay.
Dr. Bird, talk
I'm
to the
here.
people. Let's talk
I'm in a
about
bad
comfort.
area, so
Let's talk about comfort, because you and being uncomfortable, because you came in and you got people to not only be comfortable with the uncomfortable, but you set a really clear target.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just to let you know what I feel that it takes is, number one, it takes building your business as if it's a 911 emergency. And that's how I build my business. Like right now in my life, where I want to go, it's a 911 emergency. And you hit on the why. You know, my why is, of course, you know, my mother. I realize my mother is not getting any younger. You know, she'll be 62 this year. And that's a lot of things I want to do for that woman, because she's been there since I was born, since 1989, in ways that I feel that she didn't even have to be there. And it's other reasons, other family members, other things I want. But the main thing is you have to build your business like it's a 911 emergency. And I tell this to my team all the time. It's no such thing as I can't get 5 customers. There's no such thing as that. I don't believe it. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm tough on my people. I don't accept it, because let me tell you why. If the doctor told everybody on the Zoom, you had 1 week to get 5 customers, or we're taking both your legs, okay, you're going to go get 5 customers without any problems. You know what the difference is? It's a 911 emergency. So you're going to get those 5 customers in probably less than 5 minutes, because you're not even going to take a chance of 7 days going by and you having to get your legs amputated or something even worse happening to you. Why? Because it shifted from being not a priority to a priority. So to me, and this is just me, I'm not trying to be mean or rough. I just say it like it is. And at the end of the day, it's just not a priority. So I tell my team, it's not that you can't get 5 customers. It's not that you can't get 10 customers. It's not a priority. And once you accept the fact that it's not a priority, you'll feel a lot better. But for me, it's a priority for me to win. It's a priority for me to compete. And again, either you got it or you don't. You know, right now, I was talking to Kirk, man. I said, hey, man, I got a goal. You know, I want to be the first regional director in Illinois. And I know I'm competing with my brother, Mike Karcheski, and he doesn't mind because I'm in his downline. And it's just the competitive nature in me. And one thing I know is that not only do I want to win, I said, you know what? And you talked about this, Julius. You said something. And I remember when I first started really building this, and I remember the checks I was getting in my previous company, because I was the #1 income earner in that company. And, you know, when I shifted over here, of course, the checks wasn't what I was used to. But I realized something. I said, of course, I'm starting from the very beginning here, but I said, I got to have more customers in this holding tank. Because what I was doing and what other people were doing, you'll put 10 customers in, you'll put 15 customers in, you'll try to wait until those go pending. and they may go pending a week later, 2 weeks later, and then you get this check and you're like, oh, it's not as big as I wanted it to be. And I said, okay, I know how to fix this. We're going to fix this. We're going to make sure there's at least 150 to 200 customers in the holding tank at all times. Right now, it's 150 plus customers sitting in my holding tank. So if you keep at least 100 to 200 customers in your holding tank at all times, you don't have to worry about not getting a common check every single week. But if you're one of those people, you put 10 customers in today, you sit back, you wait 2 weeks, then you go put another 10 customers in, you're not going to see the check because you're hoping and waiting for it to catch up. But this is the thing. If you keep that amount of customers, 100 to 150 to 200 customers in your holding tank, eventually those checks are going to catch up. So again, you just have to be wired different. You just got to want it. Like I said, I told myself yesterday morning, and even though I'm busy, I have a lot going on. I have other businesses. I have a lot of leaders coming on that I have to help and get them through our training system that I've created. But I said, there's no excuse, Milton. I said, you need to be talking to 50 people a day. And I'm talking about new people. I'm not talking about people on the team, because me talking to 50 people don't take me nothing but maybe 2 minutes a person, because I'm sending audios, I'm sending scripts to certain people, and I'm turning even customers into business partners because they're going to go give me some referrals. So you just got to be wired different. But as far as people can't get a customer, that's an excuse. It's just not a priority. Because again, like I said, if the doctor told you you're going to leave this earth, or we're going to take your children, or we're going to amputate your legs, everybody on the Zoom go get however many customers is needed. And that's just my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Milton. Yeah, we're on the same page, brother. I was writing that down this morning. It's faith over fear. It's a sense of urgency. We got to create in our minds. However, we have to trick our minds, right? I do the same thing, Milton, that you just said. When I need just to lead by example, well, I don't need no more customers. I got over 50 personal, but when I want to get myself going again, right? And just lead by example, I'll go out and get another 10 customers, right? Because I put that sense of urgency that, I don't want to leave anything behind. And more importantly, but Milton, you talked about, there's a lot of business owners on this Zoom today. There's a lot of people that work full-time jobs like we all have done. So how do you navigate around owning daycare centers? I believe a limo company. How do you navigate around that, number one? And number two, Milton, what is your deep burning why? What motivates Milton Burt to shift his mind like that analogy you just created?
Great question, Big John. It's just, again, man, it's a priority. That's it. It's a priority. I don't believe any business that I have right now can give me the return on investment like Think Energy. And I know what is going to happen in the next year. I've seen this play before. You know how you ever seen a movie and you like, you've seen this movie before. I've seen this movie before with me, like we talked about being late to the party 9 years later. And I know what I was able to do in that company. But I've seen the people that were there early, and those people sitting at probably over 150, 200 million in total earnings since, that company started, and still earning today, relaxing in their 60s and 70s, people I still have conversations with. So my belief is there because I've seen this play out before. I already know what's going to happen. I see it. So that motivates me. And again, my burning wild. Number one, my mother. My mother's very successful. She doesn't need anything from me. My mother has just been one of the mothers that no matter what I ever want to pursue, she's always invested. She never stopped investing. Even me at my age today, if it's something I needed or wanted or something, she's going to always support. She's going to always be there. So when you have a mother like that and a support system like that, it's like, it's bigger than you. You get what I'm saying? And like we said, we're on borrowed time. I don't know when I'm going to go. I don't know when she's going to go. So at the end of the day, I always wanted to be one of those people that can do like what LeBron James can do for his mother. If he wanted to, he can just drop $1 million on his mother right now if he wanted to. Kobe Bryant, if he wanted to do something for his parents, he didn't have to blink. And I'm talking about big stuff. I'm not talking about little stuff. I'm talking about big stuff, right? So that's my number one right there. Of course, eventually, starting a family, things like that. But but as far as me, just wanting to win. This is my sport. How people go out and box, like you all probably just watched the fight. I didn't watch it. I just heard about it. I was too busy getting bills and signing up business partners. But you know, I used to play basketball. I bowl, you know, I do things. I'm just competitive. And if I'm gonna participate in the sport, I'm gonna aim to be the best. I'm not aiming to not be known. I'm not aiming to be just a regular distributor that nobody knows. Oh, you gonna know Milton Burke. You know why? Because I'm gonna put them points on that scoreboard. And like I said, if you wake up with the mindset of you touching 50 to 100 people a day, most people not going to touch 50 to 100 people in the whole time of being in Think Energy. So how can you compete with somebody that before you even wake up, he already spoke to 50 people? You're not going to be able to compete with me. You're not. So it's just either you got it or you don't. And that's just something that is in me. It just is what it is. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, a family of winners. Either you got the Mamba mentality or you don't, but I don't like to lose. I don't like to just be average. I got to win. I got to make a statement, and I love to compete. So that's just me.
You know,
thank you.
Milton,
Yeah,
Milton, that's it. You know, I'm looking at Mikey Gomez over there, like, yeah, because he's an MMA fighter. He's like, yeah, Milton.
Yeah.
It's so you know, and this morning's call, I really wanted it to be a real discussion. And you know, Milton, John, Kirk, we got to start having discussions because we want people to win. And if we want people to win, we got to push people to be uncomfortable sometimes. If we get on this call and we're just talking about feel good stuff, it's not going to change people's lives. And if you're on here today and you join us every week, understand is that even us as leaders got to press. We got to press. You got to press. You got to be in the game. And that's why, you know, today I want you know, we're halfway through the month of June. We're halfway through the year. Right. And Milton said, you got to find what's important to you. You know, yesterday I flew to Maryland yesterday, you know, but on Saturday, my family got me a cold plunge, right? And some of you know, like the cold plunge pool, and we dropped it down to 40 degrees. And my 9-year-old said to me, he said, Dad, you gonna get into a 40 degree pool? I said, yeah. I said, I'm gonna give my Father's Day message from inside the pool. He said, well, I can't even put my hand in there. And then my wife said, you sure you're gonna do this? You're gonna do this on our back porch? You're gonna get in a 40 degree pool? I said, yeah, and I'm gonna give my message. I said, because I said, son, it's not about the pool. It's about the fact when I get into that pool, who am I here? Because my body's gonna quit. My body's not going to be okay at 40 degrees. My body's going to be yelling and screaming. And so I got into the pool. And when I tell you, it was like the first thing you want to do is run. There's no big man. There's no tough man. The first thing you want to do is run. There's a psychological, let me get the hell out of here. But what I realized before I went in the pool, I had already made a decision that this is where I was going to stay for my 3 to 5 minutes. And the whole time I felt like my legs had fell off, felt my arms had dislocated, everything else. And I'm talking on this video that I'm gonna send out to all of you, because that is business. You got to make a decision before you get in the game. So I'm asking you this week to make a decision. Milton said, hey, look, I already wake up at 50 to 100 calls. I'm already waking up. I came to Maryland for one reason. The company, we need 300 something customers. I'm in Maryland to get 300 something customers. I'm on the phone with my team all night. Look, we're getting 300 and something customers, and we're going to do it this week. And so I left Father's Day. I flew Father's Day. I flew to Maryland Father's Day. This morning, I'm getting all with you guys. I'm getting in the car. I'm headed to Baltimore, then to PG County, because it is not a choice not to get it done. And when I was sitting in that cold plunge, and I advise everybody to do cold plunge. Okay, if you ever want to test this, and so, but what I'm saying is that we have to make choices that make us uncomfortable and have what I'm calling divine accountability. I got to be able to look at Kirk and say, Kirk, I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. And you got to find the person that you got to look at. I got to look at my son to say, hey, I looked at my 9-year-old. He said, Dad, you leaving on Father's Day. They went to church yesterday. My church had Father's Day signs. I wasn't in that picture, but I told my 9-year-old, I said, listen, I'm going to go do some work so that when Daddy comes back, we can say we did what we need to do. That was a hard decision. It was a hard decision to get in the 40 degrees. So what hard decisions do you have to make to change your life? And that's all I want everybody to think about this week. Like, what hard decisions you got to make? Milton, Kirk, John, you all said it, is that people running around saying they can't get customers. Well, guess what? There's customers out there.
Well, listen, guys, I appreciate everything everybody had to say today. It's an awesome call. You know, here we're halfway through the month. This is the best promotion this company's ever run. It's on the table right now. People can promote doing half the work. Think about it. 10 customers, 10 electric customers, get somebody to regional energy advisor right now, $800 in their pocket, brand new person. That's not including anything to do with community solar. It's just 10 electricity customers will get you promoted to regional energy advisor. People should be shooting for these promotions like Milton said, like somebody's taking your kids, somebody's taking your legs. You know, you need to be uncomfortable and go after it. And the beauty of it is instead of looking at doing half the work, do twice the work, do twice as much work and get twice as far because the promotions they have. Don't forget about the Women of Thing call tonight, 7 p.m. I do want to give a shout out to Mikey Gomez. Talk about getting uncomfortable. Mikey's sitting in an Airbnb in Massachusetts. Mikey lives in Florida. He knew he needed to make a decision. He went to Massachusetts. He's planting his flag there. He's making some moves. So he's bringing people to the meetings.
No, Romeo, stay there.
Lala,
Him getting out of his comfort zone. So take it away, Big John.
yeah, I want to speak to the point of Mikey Gomez, right? Mikey Gomez is a winner. You know, Mikey, I want you to come on and close this meeting out. Can you unmute yourself, Mikey? If you can, great. This
Yeah,
guy's a
absolutely.
winner.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, what's
So
up,
Close
thank you,
us
Big John.
out,
Thank you,
brother.
Kirk. Thank you, Milton and Julius, guys, and all the other leaders in here. Look, I'm at my Airbnb right here in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and I don't know anybody in here, guys. Right? I live in Florida, so I proved it to my team, right, that we can build it from somewhere that is not open. And I made a decision, right? Just like Milton, my mom's 68 years old. She's still working at Disney, just because she doesn't want to touch her retirement. And that's all on me. So I had to get uncomfortable and come out here, right, and meet people. So I made a decision, right? We happen to have an event here in Marlborough next week. And I made a decision, right, that I'm going to get 10 people into that meeting, right? So I have to invite 20, 25 people. And I'm like the guy walking around Main Street in here, right? Meeting everybody. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just working here for a couple of weeks. You know, I'm in charge of the development of community solar here locally. Have you seen those solar farms around? Because there's like 3 giant ones when you come into town. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm just building these relationships. And I start today now putting in my claws onto all these new relationships, right? Because I couldn't just be thirsty right away. And look, guys, I'm fired up, and I tell people that this is like telling people to buy Bitcoin at $200 right now. And I'm literally telling them, if you don't take action right now, right, just know that you're not buying Bitcoin at $200. But the difference is, you know what's about to happen. So I'm out here, I'm fired up, and I'm really just, you know, I'm Julius. I'm gonna leave you with this. So, because I've been taking cold showers since I went dead broke right after my fighting career in mid 2015, 2016 actually, because it cost me $0 to do that. And actually, what that did for me, Julius, it actually, you know, I trained my mind to be able to tell myself, do this, and you go in, because there's not a single day, not even this morning, I wanted to get in the cold shower, especially on that shower that is not hard, right? You know, it makes it even worse. So that is something that I would advise you guys to start doing something hard every single day. Imagine waking up and getting in the cold shower every single day, guys. They say do something hard every day, right, in your life. So imagine starting your day that way. And you know, training yourself to do things right over and over and over. The stamina that Milton has, that's what I've learned. People come in here, right, and we get fired up, and we're like, yeah, he's right. I'm gonna do 50 calls today, but you haven't built the stamina yet. I don't have the stamina yet, and this is what I do full time. So you have to build that up, guys, right? 5 a day, 10 a day, 15 a day, right? Until you're able to go and run it up, guys, and accomplish every single thing you came here to do. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for that. Thank you for every single Monday, guys. We're blessed, we're fired up, and we're gonna take this all the way to the top.
Well, listen, everybody. Thank you, Mikey. Love you, brother. You're, I look back and I say, look at all the beautiful people in my business that I get an opportunity. I'm blessed to work with Milton, Kirk, Julius, Mikey, everybody on this call. Think about that. Think about what you can have. Just go after it, folks. Like Mikey's going after world champion professional fighter. He's building himself up. Milton's on the run. Julius on the run. I look forward to seeing everybody on that 7 p.m. Zoom tonight. Men and women, let's promote it. Love you guys. Have a blessed day. Make it a great day.
Let's go.